Both home teams are 3-point favorites. Let's start in the AFC since we were just talking about Brady. It appears Mahomes is going to be fine in terms of the head issue.
Right.
Maybe it's even his ankle that's more of a concern for the Chiefs. Assuming a healthy Mahomes, what do you like in this game?
I think the key is the way that Aaron Rodgers looked after they beat the Rams, where his jersey was spotless. That has to be the key for the Chiefs. They can't run plays like the one he had and where he got the concussion and comes out. I think, when you look at it, I guess you have to go with the Chiefs. They're at home. They're the number 1 seed. They've got the most weapons in the NFL and 2 unguardable pieces in Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce. But if the Bills are to create a turnover or two, win the turnover battle, I think, depending on the pass rush and the way that they can create pressure on the opposing quarterback, they can cause some trouble for Kansas City. I don't think this is a Bills team that's going to come in scared. I think this is a Bills team that believes in themselves.
Yeah.
Sean McDermott does, Brian Daboll, and the entire coaching staff. So I think it'll be a great game, but you just got to go Chiefs end of the day.
They played each other earlier in this year, right?
And in Buffalo.
And Buffalo, and the Chiefs won. I think the Bills are a worthy opponent. I think they're going to play well. I still like the Chiefs because of this is their 3rd straight AFC Championship game. They have that championship pedigree. And Andy Reid, it's almost like he's playing with house money. Going for it on 4th and 1 with, why am I forgetting his name now? Chad Henne? Anything is possible. Chad Henne, who had never played in a playoff game. I think there's just this confidence and aura, this championship confidence with the Chiefs right now. And like you said, even if Buffalo comes out gangbusters, gets a couple turnovers, if the Chiefs are down 10 in the 4th quarter, we see them move down the field so quickly offensively. And then how about when the momentum swayed in the Cleveland game, their defense coming up big. Obviously, everyone's going to assume it's the Chiefs' offense that wins their game, and rightfully so. But I just like the Chiefs. I think they've been the best team all year. But it would be cool if the Bills got to a Super Bowl for the first time since the 90s, and if it set up a Brady versus Bills Super Bowl, because we know how one-sided that's been over the years. So let's go to the NFC side. Packers and Bucks. This was one-sided when they played this year, which is sort of – I remember watching the game it was Sunday Night Football, right? I think it was either a 425 or a Sunday Night Football game, and being like, what? Because the Bucks lost a lot of games to good teams this year. They lost to the Saints a couple times. I think they lost to the Rams. They lost to, I guess the Bears aren't a good team, a playoff team. But I don't know what happened in that game. But the Packers, they're the 1 seed for a reason. It feels like Aaron Rodgers, I don't know if he's playing the best football of his career, maybe his MVP season or the last time they won the Super Bowl, but it seems like he's enjoying himself out there. Obviously, the run game was a huge benefit to them on Sunday. I was just looking at the stats. They had 170 yards on the ground. So they're playing well. They're the 1 seed for a reason. It's in Lambeau. Brady's not afraid of the cold. He's played here for 20 years, but I think it's sort of a factor. Tampa Bay, I mean, you're in a division with Carolina, a domed New Orleans team. They are in warm weather in Tampa, and who's the last team in the NFC South? Falcons.
Yeah.
Have they played any not many cold weather games this year?
No, Chicago was early in the year when they lost. So I don't believe
that's just one of those factors. But some former player was saying this recently, when you're on the road and it's cold, it's almost, and there's no fans, it's almost worse because it's you don't have the aura and excitement and hype of that game to build you up when you're freezing sitting there on the bench. So if they get down, I don't know, maybe Green Bay sort of just seizes on that. But I think the Bucs have been – the Washington football win wasn't that great, as we were just talking about. I think in hindsight, the Saints were probably an overrated division team based on the limitations from Drew Brees. But the Saints feel the Bucs feel like everything's sort of coming together right now. And they're sort of adopting a little bit of the Brady Pats last Super Bowl winning team. They really sort of committed to the run with Leonard Fournette there. So if that can be not your bread and butter, but complement, because I think they were too pass happy for a while this year. In the cold weather, if they can commit to Fournette, get some play action, and we saw how Brady spread it out. I think Cameron Brate was his leading receiver on Sunday with 4 catches. Then I think their offense will be in pretty good shape. I keep going back and forth with this. My heart tells me Brady's just going to pull it out, but I think I'm going to pick the Packers. But I'll say they won't cover. I'll say they squeak it out by a point.
Sure. I got to go with the Bucs.
Okay.
I don't know why. I mean, I don't know if you buy into the whole Rodgers is the more talented quarterback, Brady's the clutcher quarterback. the more accomplished quarterback. But I just think depending on how well this Tampa Bay defense can play, and I'm not expecting them to have another 4 turnovers and be +4 in that category, but if they can have 1 or 2, I think that will be the difference, because I think both offenses kind of cancel themselves out. I think both quarterbacks do, the weapons do. I think it's going to come down to defense and special teams. I think it's going to be fairly low scoring, a game in the 40s. But I have a hard time believing that Tom Brady's going to go there and lose. For some reason, I don't know why, but I haven't been high on the Packers like I brought up a couple weeks ago. I haven't been high on the Packers for the last couple of years, and obviously they've surprised and they've done really well for the franchise and the lack of weapons outside of a Devontae Adams and an Aaron Jones. But
who was the guy, Lazard, that was getting all
Alan
these?
Lazard. They have Marquez Valdez-Scantling. I mean, it's similar to the teams that Brady's had in his career. You know, he's had like a good one, and then like just a solid 2, 3, or 4. Where if you're outside of that market and you're not watching them on a week-to-week basis, you don't know these guys.
I do not feel good about it. Should I switch my pick to the Bucs right now?